Your 15-year-old son walks in the door, red-faced and angry, carrying in his hand a broken pair of glasses, his brand new glasses that you just spent a lot of money buying. He tells you he got into a fight once again, and in the fight, his glasses were broken. You are very upset. Many things are going through your mind and many emotions are racing through your heart. What do? Particularly if we keep in mind the story that we shared in a prior video where a class had misbehaved, and when they were rebuked by the Rebbe, the reactions were very remarkable. Some were repentant, but some others became angry or blamed the teacher. And there were a third group that was even empowered to continue to do so. And we certainly don't want to do that with our own child. So what do? Over the next 3 videos, we are going to discuss how we can prepare ourselves and how we can approach the situation so that we can indeed be successful, and how to talk to the person we're talking to. There will be 3 categories. It will be with machshava, dibur, and maisa, with thought, with speech, and with action. I hope you will benefit from these videos and find them empowering. Today we are going to talk about the machshava, or actually the emotions that you need to prepare in order to be able to have this confrontation, or better yet, this conversation, so that it will be successful and it will be well received. Because that, of course, that is the point that we want to accomplish, is we want the person we're talking to receive it well and to hear our message. As a general disclaimer, in this video we are going to be talking about general approaches and techniques and skills we can use. But of course, if you have specific questions or how to apply that specifically to your case, please feel free to log on to chinuchcoach.com and schedule a free 15-minute session with me, and I will do my best to help you understand and empower you to be most successful. But back to our story. What do you do when your child or your student or your colleague does something that really makes you upset, and you want to be able to tell them in a way that they will be able to hear? So today we are going to talk about machshava, the emotions that you need to have in order to have a successful conversation. So we're going to talk about 2 approaches, and one of them is called emotional intelligence, and the other one I like to call emotional mirroring, but in the lashon of Shlomo Melech, it's kamayim panim al panim. So emotional intelligence, what is that? So it's really 4 steps. Emotional intelligence means I'm aware of where I am holding myself emotionally. Am I angry? Am I upset? Am I happy? Am I sad in certain situations? And then I need to be able to adjust my emotions in order that I can be successful. Oftentimes it means I have to tamper down on the negativity and increase the positivity. The next 2 steps is being aware of the emotional state of the person I'm talking to. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they angry? And then again, being able to adjust their emotional stance and be able to help them be receptive, to be able to hear the story or the message that I want to tell them. So let's go back to the first step. My own emotional situation. Where am I holding? How am I feeling? If I'm angry, why am I angry? Very often, it is because there are things that are going inside my mind. How can this person do this to me? How can they disregard what I've told them so many times? They've caused me to lose money, or they've embarrassed me, or they make me look bad. All those are things that are going inside my heart, my thoughts, my emotions. All of them get in the way of a successful conversation. When I talk to somebody else and I want them to hear me, it can't be about me. It can't be about my feelings and how upset I am. So I need to be able to lower down my emotions and be able to think about what the person I'm talking to, they need to hear. What will be beneficial for them to understand? How can I say it in a way that they will be receptive? So therefore we now come on to the second part, and that is kamayim panim al panim, or what we're going to call emotional mirroring. Shlomo Melech teaches us an amazing klal, that if I approach somebody and I am happy, that emotion will then be reflected in the person I'm talking to. Not always, but it will have the strongest impact or likelihood that they will be able to feel that. So if I am happy, it makes somebody else happy. Just like, if you're walking in the street and someone comes and greets you with this big smile, even if you don't know them, you very often start smiling back. So that's what we have to do. We have to think about what is the emotion that I need to have that will make the person I'm talking to, whether it be my child, my student, or my colleague, or my friend, receptive to the emotional message that I want to tell them. So the answer is we want it to be one of concern. We want it to be one of help, not about me, but about you. And I have to be thinking about how can I help my child not get into fights anymore? How is he feeling about it? Boy, this must have made you unhappy. You must be disappointed. You must be upset that your glasses are broken. When you show care and concern about the other person, it helps them listen. It helps them be receptive to other messages that you'll tell them. But if you are angry and you come at them out of anger or disappointment or showing that you feel shamed by their behavior, they will likely have the same emotion back. And that's why the story in the classroom, when the Rebbe was telling them that they were doing something wrong and he was angry with them, they became angry back. It further entrenched them in the feeling that someone did something wrong to them, and now someone is continuing to do so right now by yelling at them. So the emotion that he evoked in his Talmidim was one of anger. So in summary, the first step is emotions. I need to be able to be aware of what's going on inside of me and be able to then channel it and focus on the needs of the person I'm talking to. And in that way, they too will reflect the same emotion, and that is of concern, of hearing, of being able to wanting to do better. The final message I will share with you is an amazing piece of chinuch which is worthwhile all unto its own. But how do I do that? When I'm first angry, you might be asking. My child walks in with broken glasses. My students do something that makes me very disappointed and angry. How do I all of a sudden diffuse that anger and that emotion? The answer is a piece of advice from the Chofetz Chaim. The Chofetz Chaim says if you want to rebuke your child, he deserves to be rebuked. Don't do it when you're angry. Wait till the next day, till you've already had time to sleep, to calm down, to reflect, a chance to prepare yourself. Then call over your child and say, you remember yesterday something happened? Yesterday you did X, Y, or Z. If he needs to be rebuked, you can be able to give him the rebuke. But you will do it without anger. And when you do it without anger, you will do it the right way. You will not over-exaggerate in the punishment. You will not convey a negative emotion. You will not cause this emotional response, kamayim panim al panim, of negativity. It'll be a feeling of concern, of love, of compassion, that you want them to be able to grow and become to the best person that they can be. Next week, we will talk about dibur. How do you need to speak in order to be able to have the person you're talking to receptive and hear the message you're trying to convey? As always, if you would like to talk to me further or have further questions or perhaps in a different matter of chinuch, please reach out to me at chinuchcoach.com. Schedule a free 15-minute Zoom meeting with me, and it will be my greatest pleasure to empower you to be as successful as you possibly can.